I was just hit by a car and was thrown over 2 lanes of road on my skateboard and didn't break a bone. How do I do that? Well, if you've been watching our channel, it's the RX Fit method, and it's the way we run things here.
I know what you need, I would bleed for you, but you're taking so.
I'm Danny of RX Fits, and we have this very unique training style where we think about mobility and stability on top of your strength, power, and endurance. And what it does is it creates an anti-fragile body. Things I talk about a lot is how to become more resilient. How do you put stress on a system and you actually bounce back stronger? And that's what we're focused on here. So what do I do? Well, right now, I'm actually using a TENS unit on my right hip because it is a little sore, a little funky. Hurts a little bit, as you can imagine, when you bounce around on the road, right? In front of cars. But no broken bones. That's what I want to focus on. And that was really important to me because I do focus on mobility a lot. I do focus on those modalities. So it's really important that you guys know that because of the accident, I'm not having to regress 6 months to a year of my training because of some kind of injury. I just now, have to take that in mind, rehab myself a little bit, focus on progression and not slow down. And how am I going to do that? That's what we're going to focus on today. How am I going to do that? Well, you got to think about what do you need to take care of when you're working out. My right hip hurts a lot. So how am I going to manage that through my routine? Well, I know that if I took damage anywhere in my body, that you become unstable immediately because your body's going to protect that joint. It's going to protect the knee, it's going to protect the ankle, it's going to protect the shoulder, wherever the problem is. First thing you need to do is find out the muscle that's very, very tight. And that's the easy thing to do. You just touch it. Where around, actually I should use the other side because this is the side that's injured. Where around, oh shit, I felt that immediately. Right there. This muscle is way tighter than in here, which makes sense because the outside of my hip hurts. So, even if you're not a professional, it's really simple methodology. This is what's tight. I need to find a way to release that tissue, right? I can feel that's tight. I can feel this is tight over here, my glutes, where my TENS unit is currently located. I don't know if you can see wires coming out of there, but that's where my attachment points are. So, first thing I'm gonna do, I'm loosening it up. I can do that with a Theragun if you don't have access to one of these. It's gonna break the tissue up. Woo, that stings. It's gonna help loosen up pressure on my joints. Remember, because muscles are like bands. They're like this. Ugh. Like this. And it happens to be that this side, it's more taut than this side. Because it's more taut, I need to use tools like this Theragun and drill against that muscle. So that way, I can give it a little bit of slack and it's not as taut. See how it's a little softer? That's what we're kind of doing with our muscles all the time. And by doing that, not only it's going to balance out the tension on the inside, my knee will move a little bit inwards instead of being pulled out all the time, but it's going to reduce how much tension is here and in here because those are the attachment points for the muscle. So the injury that I have, or in whatever you want to call it, the pain that I'm feeling can be mitigated by reducing the amount of tension. So that's the first thing I do. All right, I'm not a professional. Let's say I'm not a professional. I'm just a regular person, not a personal trainer. I'm like, how do I strengthen this muscle? Like, well, the muscle's on the inside of the leg. What does this muscle do? It pulls inwards because it's on the inside of the leg, right? It just does that. So what I do, anything. I mean, think about anything you're rotating inwards or even pulling inwards under a lot of tension. So I would lie on my back, put my feet up here, put a block in the center, right? And squeeze together while I'm lifting my hips. So the whole time, the insides are on, they're firing. They're like, you can feel the pull. It's kind of like doing the equivalent of a plank where you're holding a position. You're not doing a whole lot, but you can feel it in the core. Similar to concept. Put a ball in here, put something in there, squeeze together, and then lift your hips and squeeze as hard as you can the entire time. And that's gonna build the inside. And take that simple concept of tight out here, so I must strengthen in here, and you can use that on anything, right? If I'm tight up here in the front, then strengthen back here. So I've done release here, I've been strengthened here, right? Release where it's tight, and you can find that out by touching. Strengthen, right? The opposite position of the tightness. And then now, I'm going to find ways to keep it like that. So I'm gonna now want to put it under a load. A load is force, 20 pounds. Gravity pulls on this item at 20 pounds of force, which is why it says 20 on it. That's what gravity does. You can now use this, you can use a band, you can use anything that increases force, pressure, tension, right? And so I'm gonna think in a way of like, how do I balance this leg back out? So I'm gonna hold this in my left hand, I'm gonna stand on my right leg, and I'm gonna tilt forward like so, and I'm gonna stand up. Why am I doing that? Watch my leg as I bend over. All right, oh shit. See how immediately I did that out there. Why did I do that? Right? You can see it again. Everything is much tighter right here, right? My leg is wanting to pull outwards because that's where the tension is, right? That's what's leading to the pain up here. So I'm teaching myself how to pull back inwards. I can do that by just falling over and over and over on one leg here. You can force it by adding something that's gonna force me to turn my leg internally. So as a traveling trainer, I've learned just to grab anything I see around me and then turn it into something I can use. So I just bundled up that band I used earlier, put it on the inside of my foot, like that. See, now my ankle's forcefully being pushed out. So when I stand on one leg, my foot's fighting really hard inwards. What does that mean? That now that area I was trying to build up earlier, it's forced to being built up now. My leg doesn't even want to turn outwards anymore. It is like now aggressively fighting to go inwards, right? Going back to that same concept of building up the inside. So I'm holding that force, the weight, that's gonna build the strength. I wanna tilt, and now I'm falling over to my right a lot less because of the force elevation. My foot's trying to fight inwards now. So it's really basic concept. That's what I'm trying to teach you guys, is like, when you're not only just training yourself on like trying to lose weight and trying to gain muscle mass or trying to get increased performance, when you're injured, you don't have to scrap everything you were just doing. You just have to rethink the way that you're doing your programming. And that's what we do here at RxFit. And that's what we get into the weeds on in our Fitness Masterclass. It's a 12-week program. We have a ton of content, many hours worth of content, of videos you can watch where I go into depth on every single little one of these techniques and ideas and modalities, so that way you can use in your own programming, or you can just follow our program. We have the 12 weeks. We work out every single day of the week for 12 weeks, and we talk step by step, week by week, of why that week is important, what to think about, what to grow, and then by the end, the idea is you'll think like a personal trainer. You're gonna get like a mini certification in personal training by the end of this course. So if you aren't already, subscribe below. You'll get notified anytime we release content, or go to the website, www.rxfit.co. There'll be an email list. Put yourself on the email list, so that way you can get notified of when this package is released, and then you can take advantage. Until next time, I am Danny. If you ever get injured, just reach out and comment below, and I will help you as best as I can. Take care, guys.